Hello, welcome back. So now that we've learned about images, we want to learn about how to structure our document as a whole, not just not just images. So there's two ways of doing it. The first way is tables, which is the older way to do it. Now we have something called divs, and now we have an even more updated version of divs. So we're gonna start off with opening up our website, and we're gonna go ahead and open up our index. Now we're gonna use a different method of style sheets, and that is style. You type it in here in your in between the closing of your head. Actually, no, sorry, it's right here where you type it out. So style, and that way we can just style inside of our document. Now first off, we're going to create a table, and a table has a couple of new elements. So the first one is table. We're going to go ahead and give it a border of 1, and this is a way also of doing style sheets inside of the tag itself. Now we're going to give it a caption, and our caption is going to be this or our first table. Close that off. You're gonna have a table row, and a row, it's this way, and then you're gonna have table data that goes that way. So first off, table row, and that's gonna have a table header of price. Sorry, table header of price. We're gonna have another table header, and it's gonna be quantity. These are just random values to test out that our graph is going to work. So we're going to head and close up our row, and now we're going to have another row, and this row is going to have our values. So we're going to go ahead and say instead of table header, we're going to have table data. So it's TD. We're going to have 13.5, for example. Close that off. Oh, sorry. Another one, table data. We're going to say 1. Now that we have our table rows, our 2 rows, we're going to go ahead and close up our table. And we're going to go ahead and save this and render it in our browser to see how it looks. And there is our first table. So that's how you kind of started off. Now you could structure this in many other ways. That you could have on a bigger scale, you could have your navigation here where this price is, or you could have your navigation here, and then a photo here, and then you have your content here and here, because you can make these tables so much bigger. Now there is a newer way of doing it, and that's what I'm going to show you right now, because it's kind of better and it's more effective. And the way to do it is by using divs. So we're going to go ahead and say this is a div. I'm going to close it off, and now we're going to go ahead and go to our style sheets inside of our document, and we're going to say div border 5 pixels solid black. And this is in order so we know how big our div is, and we can kind of work with it a little bit better. So we're going to go ahead and save that and open up our Internet Explorer, and there we go. This is a div. So now we have that. Now we see that the div is extending all the way back, but it doesn't have to be that way. We can narrow it down. So we're going to go ahead and say a width of 200 pixels. Let's say a little bit bigger. Let's say 400 pixels, so everything fits nicely. And now we're going to go ahead and render that out, and there we go. 400 pixels is our div. Now we can also float this different ways, just like we did the images. We can float right if you want to. We can save that and render it out, and it's floating right, as you see. We can also change the background color, which is another cool feature. Background color, let's say green. Go ahead into the browser and render it out. There we go. This is a div. We can even change the color of the text. So let's say we want the color to be white, or let's say, and on top of that, let's say we want the font size to be, let's say 10 pixels. Just to give you an example. Load that up, and there we go. It's really small, but the text is white, as you can see, and that's how we structure a div. Now on top of the div, there's also a new set of divs, or of tags. They kind of work like divs, and the set includes the header, and then we have our nav, and we have our article, and we have a couple more of these type of tags. And basically these tags work almost exactly like divs. The only difference is that these tags are better for search engine optimization, or something we call SEO, and they're very effective because if you have these, your browser will find your website on the top. So if you search it up on Google, for example, you can search up your website and it's going to be on the top of the results. On the other hand, if you don't have these tags, or you're not using these tags, your website might end up being at the 5th page, and you don't want that, because nobody's going to go to the 5th page. So that's the new those are all the ways of structuring your documents. Going over them, there's tables. We have tables, divs, and we have the newer version of divs, which include tags like header, nav, and article. So there you go, guys. That's how you structure a document. Thank you very much.